this session, we're going to talk about all things classroom organization within inside Google Classroom. So we'll go over topics and materials and what those things look like within the classwork area. And then we'll move into class settings, talk a little bit about Google Meet integration, and then just some additional instructional resources that are available to you. Let's get started. So for topics are a really great way to organize things within Google Classroom. You can decide what your topic is called, so whether it be, your different subjects or date specific, however you want to organize it within Google Classroom, it's totally up to you. So I'm going to hop over to my Google Classroom, and I'm going to start in my classwork tab. And as you can see, I have several different topics here, and I'm just going to add a new topic. So I'm going to come up to my Create button at the top left and choose Topic all the way down at the bottom. And then it will ask me to name the topic. We do have a little, we can add a little extra flair, we'll say, to our classroom. If you go to the website, getemoji.com, you are able to copy and paste emojis from this site into your topics in Google Classroom. So let's say that we're going to be talking about sleeping. That's one of our topics. So I can highlight it and copy that and then come in here and paste. And sleeping is a topic that I'm going to add. It's going to come up to the top here. I can always rearrange the topics as I need. Let's say that I had a few topics, but we're going to be going to the math topic, and I want the students to see that one first. I'm just going to click and drag it all the way up to the top, and now that's the first topic that they will see. Additionally, students can click on the left-hand side here on these topics to navigate to them easily. If a topic has no information in it, it's got no assignments, materials, quizzes, nothing in there, students will not see it until you actually put something in there. So moving along to materials within Google Classroom, materials are a one-way street for students. That means they're just getting the information from you. There's nothing that they would be able to turn into you. So I'm going to go back to my classwork tab, and this time I'm going to come up to my create button again, and I'm going to choose material. Material is going to look similar to assignments. If you've already looked at assignments, you're going to see some of the same information in there, but a little less because, again, students are not actually turning anything in. So I can give a title to my material. So maybe this is a math presentation. I can add a description to that piece of material, so it might be something that they need for a certain lesson. It might just be a help document that I always keep available, whatever the information they do need for that item. And then I can either add an item from my Google Drive, from a link, a file, or a YouTube video, or I can create a brand new doc slide sheet drawing form that's going to be added to this material. I'm going to go ahead and add an item from my Google Drive. So I get my presentation here that I've added. What you'll notice is that if you've used Google Classroom for assignments, you don't see over here where it says like make a copy for each student or students can view the file. Those sharing settings are going to be that students can view the file. It's just material, so they don't need their own copy of it. They can always make their own copy of it, but this is how we're going to get this material to our students. On the right-hand side here, I can differentiate by sending it to multiple classes if I need to, or sending it to specific students. So maybe only 5 of my kids actually need this math presentation, so only those 5 kids would be checked next to their name. Underneath that, the last thing I'm going to do is add a topic. Let's actually add our sleeping topic. And then I can post up at the top. I can also schedule it so it can go out at a specific time, or I can save it as a draft, which is maybe something that I'm going to edit later. I will post this, and it will be showing up in my sleeping topic. And as I mentioned, students will not be able to see this until that presentation is available for them. So now that that presentation is in there, they will see that topic. So now we're going to move into our class settings. So we're able to adjust some of our class settings as well as add Google Meet in that class area. So how do we get to our class settings? It doesn't matter which tab you're on up here, Stream, Classwork, People, Grades. Up at the top right hand corner, close to where your account icon will be, you should see a settings wheel. This is going to allow you to add a class description, section, room number, subject if you'd like to. You can change your class code here. Where it says stream, we're going to look at that first. Currently, I have mine set to only teachers can post or comment, which means that students are not able to post or comment on the stream. I can also choose that students can only comment. So maybe I've made an announcement and my kids can comment that they've seen that announcement. By default, Google Classroom has students can post and comment. So that's just something that you will likely want to change at the beginning of the school year. You'll want to come here to only teachers can post or comment, or students can only comment. Next, we have classwork on the stream. So your stream is basically announcements for your class, but it is also like a digest of what's happening in your class. That means that if I post an assignment, it could show up on the stream. So it'll show up that Sarah Margerson has created an assignment, and it'll have the name on there and maybe the due date. I personally like to hide the notifications of classwork on the stream, which makes my stream only announcements. So there are only announcements that show up on the stream. Again, a few different options that you have within this menu. I can also choose to view deleted items or show deleted items. This would be helpful. Maybe if you deleted an assignment and you'd like to bring it back, you can check that on and then you'd be able to restore those things. Guardian summaries, we don't actually use Guardian summaries very often. Guardians are not able to get full access to Google Classroom. The only way for parents to do that would be to actually sign in as their student. But Guardian summaries are going to give parents a little digest of what's happening in the classroom. If you come to this area, you're able to click on See Example, and it will show you a little more information about Guardian summaries and what those will look like. So here's an example email summary. So it'll say if there was missing work, if there's work due next week. Again, since a lot of our Google Classrooms are fairly light in the amount of work that they have, many of our teachers have opted to shut off Guardian summaries. And then the last thing that we're going to look at is just this Google Meet area. This is where I'm able to turn on Google Meet for my classroom. As a reminder, if I turn on Google Meet in my classroom and a student goes to Classroom and clicks on Meet, they will only be able to get into that Google Meet if I, as a teacher, am in there already. So I actually still have to start the meetings. I will want to make sure that I am the last person to leave the meetings, and that will actually close it out. Students won't be able to get back in. If you're a K-5 teacher, this is the way that we recommend that you connect with students via Google Meet when we're in a remote learning situation. And then at the top, I'm just going to come up and click Save. And now I'm able to see all of my information in here. If I switched anything, I changed anything, that will be reflected in this area. Along the top here, I also have my link to, this is where I can start my Google Meet. I can also start that Google Meet here on the stream. I have my Google Calendar, which is going to be populated by the due dates that I've added to my assignments. And we also have our Class Drive folder, which is going to house all the templates that I have given the students over the course of the semester or the year, however long we're using this class. As I mentioned, Guardian summaries, you can read more about that if you'd like to invite parents to view classroom information that way. Google Meet integration. This was a new feature in the spring, so we did come out with a few notes about that. If you've got more questions, please contact the Connected Learning team. And then finally, some additional instructional resources. Just as a reminder, Discovery Education, Flipgrid, iExcel, Screencastify, all of these tools do have Google Classroom integration, which means that you can actually, find a skill on iExcel or create a topic on Flipgrid and share it to Google Classroom. I can do the same thing with a Screencastify video. So I'm going to open up a Screencastify video that I have made. And on the right hand side of the video, I get all the ways that I'm able to share that video, and I'll see this share to classroom option. When I click that, it's going to open up a window that's going to ask, okay, what classroom do you want to share it to? So I'll click my test class. What action would you like to do? I can create an assignment from this. I can ask a question, make an announcement, or create material. I'm going to create material. It will bring up that material page just like we had before. I can add it to my sleeping topic, and I'll click post. So it does make it very easy for you to post resources from external areas, external instructional resources. Like I mentioned, these are just a few of the tools that we use that we know integrate with Google Classroom, and you may know more that integrate with it as well. But what I'll see on this side now, if I refresh my page, in my sleeping topic, we should see that Screencastify video become available for students. Yep, you can see Google Forms Activity 1, and there's our video there that they would be able to watch. This is going to be a nice feature. Again, if we do get into a situation where we would need to be remote learning, this is definitely something that you'll want to use. You can use Screencastify, create some instructional videos for students, and then share those out via Google Classroom. Thanks for watching this webinar. As always, if you have any questions, you can contact the Connected Learning team at clteam@tsc.k12.in.us.